This podcast gonna be titled "Doing the Most," all over the place. Point one: people are doing the most on Instagram. I just don't understand what is the purpose of hacking somebody's page. Doesn't make any sense. I understand that y'all trying to get around or whatever, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, but I think it's a bit ridiculous, that, people have to do crazy things to try to get their pages back. Why you don't create your own page, your own business, your own brand? Us and other people work hard for our brand, and people just think they could just come on there and just do what they want and just hack your page. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Y'all need to really get a life. Number two, bullying. The young man in Arlington, I'm going to make my opinion on this. We can agree to disagree on this. I experienced bullying from a child. Even as an adult, I still experience bullying. But I've learned over the years to try to de-escalate the situation, because I know, me being who I am, I know what I'm capable of doing to someone. And I've had close calls where it came to this situation where I was not too far from being this young man. But I had to stop, and I learned a lesson. At the age of 17, there was a young man in Port Arthur, Texas. Not going to reveal who his name is. People that know me may know the situation. At the age, he was 25. I was 17 in high school. And he decided that he wanted me to do some, put it like that, things. And I refused to. So therefore, the situation escalated where I left this residence and proceeded to get in my vehicle. He proceeded to try to unlock the door of the car. And one thing led to another. His hand ended up getting rolled into the window. Of course, me being 17, this young man being 25 years old, he decided that he was going to do what he wanted to do upon a female, and I just didn't agree with that. And yeah, I did have some family members that were around, didn't really understand what was going on. So, they didn't kind of intervene in it, because I really didn't make it knowledgeable of the situation that day. But to say this to say that, I went on and went to school that day, over the weekend, that Monday, and never told my parents what had happened. And I end up having the police show up to the school, I guess because this young man decided to tell them what school I went to. Officers showed up to the school. I told them they were not going to arrest me until my mother and father both got there, or either or. So I end up getting booked in the Port Arthur jail, which is the old jail downtown Port Arthur. I didn't go to the Jefferson County. We didn't have all that back then. We had an old jail. Old jailer had me down there sitting in the chair. He didn't put me in the cell. And he asked me what happened. And I told him that the young man tried to push himself upon me at the age of 25, and I was 17, which I felt, me being a minor at that time, I should have been charged as a minor. They were state of Texas was trying to charge me as an adult. So happened, Judge Vi McGinnis, who is my lifesaver as of today, when my son went to Caley High School, my son and her grandsons got acquainted with each other. My son used to spend the night to her house. And over the years, I thank Judge Vi McGinnis for giving me that second chance, because she didn't have to, because that Class A assault charge went down to a Class C misdemeanor, which is equivalent to a traffic ticket. I paid a $500 fine. Yes, it's still on my record. It came up when I went to serve the United States Navy, but they gave me a waiver on it because it was reduced down to a Class C misdemeanor. But that goes to show you how I got put into a situation and was pushed into becoming a bully. And what I mean by becoming a bully, I had to defend myself against this young man, because he bullied on me, and the roles got reversed because I had to defend myself. So I became the bullier, because I had to defend myself as using a vehicle to get away from him. He decided to put his hand in the window, and I rolled his hand in the window, and I decided, it was my life or his. But this young man did survive. But he went on years and matter of fact, in the midst of all this, there was a young lady that he was dating at the time that I actually testified in this case. She refused to testify. I guess she was scared of him. I don't know. Just didn't want to be bothered. But it come to the scene that he was putting his hands on women several years. Even put his hands on her. Not going to reveal who she is. People that know about this story will know who I'm referring to. But that goes to show how a man can put a fear into a woman. And she decided she didn't want to go to court and testify on my behalf to save me. And years later, she's worked with my children within the school system. That's all I'm going to say. Not going to say who she is. And he's went on to work for industry. Not going to say where he's at right now. But he's also working for industry. And, it just kind of puzzles me that, I kind of apply for a industry job where this young man is. And I'm quite sure when he saw me walk into the office, he probably put a little bug in these people's ear to tell them some things about me that was untrue. But he didn't tell them that he was a assaulter. So that goes to show you, that people could do a lot of things. And it causes us to have a fight or flight kick in. And I can understand and side with this young man. I wish he would have made the better decision of not bringing a weapon to school. But when you're bullied and put in a position of trying to survive in this world, sometimes our fight or flight kicks in and it becomes a situation where we have to defend ourselves. And me looking at this video that went viral, the other young man that was doing the punching on this young man, it kicked in adrenaline for this young man to say, well, you're going to think you could just pound on me. And this goes back to the conditioning from 400 years ago, which time y'all know I'm referring to, that, we have to fight to survive. And it's still, we're fighting within our own country to have to survive. That's ridiculous and sad. It's been shown many places, California, Illinois, St. Louis, 50 states, even overseas. Even the island areas that's bordering us. I just wish that we would come together as a world. Even though we're coming together as separate cultures, come together as a world, because this is becoming a madman situation in this world to have to survive. And when Texas made this rule where you can have a gun without having a license, that was a no-no. You don't know who has a gun and what their mental status is. But that goes to say about the bullying. I don't agree with what the young man did, but at the same time, this young man fight or flight kicked in and he had to defend himself, but I wish he would have defended himself in another way. But you have to look at the size of these two young men. The young man that was doing the hitting at first was very big to this young man. This young man was kind of a small stature young man. But I just want to say that, we need to pay attention to what's going on at the schools with our children. And that goes to say the reason why I pull my children out of public school and private school is because they were experiencing the same situation, but they were getting bullied because of racial situations. And I'm going to leave it at that. But I end up winning the cases on my children, but they end up homeschooling themselves. And it was a good experience for them to learn the homeschool situation as well, public school and private school. So they had the three arenas of how to survive in life. And that is how Carl, Zephon, and my oldest son have learned how to survive in life, have had the experience of being bullied. And they have learned how to walk away from situations that could have cost their life or cost someone else's life. But I send prayer to this young man. I saw that bond was $75,000. That's $75,000 that could have went into his college fund, where it's going into his life of being saved from either going into the institution of the prisoner pipeline that Michi X talks about all the time. We have to watch what is going on in our surroundings and in our schools and our children at the same time. That's why I recommend Zyga Institute, which Q Butter has it, where it's geared to African American students at this time. And, he can't change his content of how he has and how his feelings of how he wants to educate the African American children. And I wish that other people would start schools based on the culture of their culture, like Q Butter has. This is an example school that can be started all over the country, based on culture. It's not that Q Butter is separating other cultures from us. It's that our children are not learning our history, our lifestyles, our way of living, our way of bringing up. And when you go to the public schools, you're taught history, which has nothing to do with us. It may have 1/4 of something to do with us, but not really. I look at the history books. It has nothing to do with Black history. And I look at how, as us as a people are still being treated as if we are still in the slave times. But other cultures, get the pat on the back. And I see it every day. But I don't want anybody to feel that, they're going to judge me in a negative way. But you can't feel like I feel, because I know how I feel as a Black person living in this world. And I experience all the time on social media, different things like that. I experienced it through my not getting a lot of followers, I guess, because I'm very open of how I feel about, cultures going against each other and our culture going against each other within our culture. I love everyone, but at the same time, like they say, we can agree to disagree. Point 3, please get some life insurance. Life insurance is very cheap. As much as we spend money on different unlike things that we really need in our households, invest in life insurance. The life insurance company that I use is Reliable Insurance. If you need any pointers on that, let me know. I will give you some directions of how you get term life insurance. I don't have a whole life insurance. I'm not going to pay on the whole life insurance policy all my life. Some people do it, some people don't. I've never researched whole life. I have some friends that probably could tell you about whole life, which is MJ Harris. He's on Instagram. You can probably DM him on the life insurance because he has a life insurance business. I try to tag him several times. I don't know if he's removed my tag for certain reasons or whatever, but MJ Harris, I cannot tag him anymore. So therefore, I'm going to still support this gentleman's business. But at the same time, I don't know why he does not allow me to mention him in tags anymore, because he has a reputable business. So therefore, if you want me to promote the life insurance and bring people into your business, I don't understand why I'm not able to tag him. Some people might say, well, Felicia, you shouldn't have brought that to social media. Yes, I did bring it to social media because I feel like this. If I'm going to support your brand and business, what is your reason for me not being able to tag you? Maybe I probably tagged him in some stuff that was not insurance related, but if you are a public figure, why would you block people from being able to mention you in the tags? And especially done on Instagram. But I'm still going to support MJ's business of life insurance. He's located in California. And he does have a link in his bio if you want to become an insurance agent. Number 4, we need to learn how to save. And when I mean save, you don't have to necessarily coupon to save, but I wish more people would coupon. But when I mean save, invest in yourself. The Real Tasha could tell you on Instagram. It's The Real Tasha. TheRealToshi. She has a podcast also. She can teach you how to invest in stocks. She can also teach you how to invest in paid for your say, which is Miss Kim. The link is in Miss Tasha's bio on the Pay for Your Say with Miss Kim. That is a very great side hustle. Miss Tasha Page could tell you more about that. Field agent, I do have a link in my bio for that. Field agent is where you go into stores and they may want you to buy some things. They may want you to take pictures of some things. These are the side hustles that you can do on a daily basis. So there's no excuse for people to say, oh, well, I'm always broke, this, that, and the other. There are several side hustles that I have listed in my bio on my link tree. Ibotta, rebates, different things like that. Fetch. When I say Fetch, this is an app that you can sign up. My link is in my bio, where you scan brand name items like A1 steak sauce, different things like that. And you get points back, and then you can roll them to gift cards. So these are a lot of side hustles. They may seem like unsimple side hustles or whatever you want to call it, but they are side hustles where you can take these gift cards where you could roll these points up to get $25 or $50 where you don't have to take that out of your daily pocket of income. Number 5, we need to learn how to be more lucrative. And when I mean lucrative, I mean lucrative investing in self. Look at the stocks. Look at Webull. Webull has a lot of low-end stocks on there. When I say low-end, I mean where you can buy shares at maybe 23 cents, 50 cents, up to $300. Depends what your income allows. Invest in stocks. Let them sit there. They will grow. They will go up and down, but you have a learning curve in there. But just let that money sit there. I learned that from Miss Georgina Guillory in a workshop that she did on a scholarship I won from the Pioneer Women. You can check her out on Facebook. The Pioneer Women in Beaumont, Texas, Miss Georgina Guillory. She is also the Port Commissioner of Beaumont. She's excelled through her many jobs in her lifetime. She's a lady that I do look up to. And like I say, we can agree to disagree on certain things that go on. But at the same time, she is very prominent in the Beaumont community all over the country. Far as I can see on her posts, I've dealt with her on personal levels. But she's another lady that you can follow when it comes to stocks. Like she says, she don't really teaches it, but she can give you some pointers on how to do stocks. Also, Meet Your Ex has different things on her link, therealmeetyourx.com. You can check her out. I started a business under her, www.feescbd.com. Once again, it's www.feescbd.com. Or when you Google it, it's Fee, F-E-E-S-C-B-D, all one word together. That is a business that I started with my son back in May. Our sales have kind of been down, but like they say, when you drop gems on your Anchor podcast, it will go viral on Spotify, different places like that. And it may seem like I'm rambling on, but I'm just hitting some points of things that we do on a daily basis that we sometimes overlook, and people that we may overlook that have a lot of lucrative things going on in their business. And my sister, Goddess Masterpiece, her page got brought down by a hacker, but she does have Highly Eats Addictive, so you can check her out. Highly Eat Addictives. I will, when I drop this podcast, I will have the @ for her and the people that I did mention in the podcast on here. She has clothing, jewelry. She has perfume that came out called Goddess. I don't know if her supply, she still has any left. You can check with her. Her link is in her bio also. She has Olive Eats. She does treats, different gummies of that sort. And she better tell you more about her product on that, on the Highly Eat side. Just follow us. Dependable Angel Services. I just posted a shirt. A classmate of mine, Eric Barkins, did that shirt for me. If you would like to purchase a shirt, DM and let me know. And let me know your size, what color. If you want it in black, gray. He could do it in any color you want, any size you want. Just let me know. I will not be doing a tree spring on that. It will be going straight through him. And like I say, me and him would discuss the ins and out of how the shirt will sell or whatever. Like I said, he's doing all the work or whatever. And it's my brand. So therefore, we will work out something for my brand versus his brand. We can come together. And also, I want to say have a happy Friday. As always, Miss Simple Saving for ATM Mom, Quita B, always drops a link on her page on Fridays and on Mondays for the 52-week challenge. Like I said, I did that for 3 years with her. You normally, at the end of the 52-week challenge, you'll save $1,348. Follow a Simple Saving for ATM Mom's page. Couponing with Tony. Follow Batty. Shop with Batty. That's my homegirl and sister. She teaches you how to save with coupons. Also, excuse me, that's my notifications, y'all. Also, she has Take Over Batty on Instagram. I will tag her in this also. And a late happy birthday to her. For those that probably didn't know, her birthday was yesterday. And I'm going to end this podcast on saying, love each other no matter if we can agree to disagree. At the end of the day, we still need each other one way or the other. And I'm going to say, be blessed and shalom.
Good morning. We're going to do what they call a Felicia's journey to the doctor. I'm going to give you some updates on what's going on with me, and I will do another podcast and drop some gems and let you know what the doctor's outcome was. I had a CT scan done. I had an ultrasound done on my gallbladder and my liver. They found out that I have high enzymes in my gallbladder. They found out that I have a fatty liver. Then also I had a chest x-ray to watch my swallowing pattern of how I swallow with my esophagus, because apparently I'm having esophagus problems and irritable bowel syndrome that's going on. So today's doctor's appointment is going to conclude all these battery tests I've had. I had a manometer test done in Houston at St. Luke's Hospital, in which it entails inserting a 36-inch tube down your nose that monitors your swallowing. But before the nurse does that, she puts a lidocaine in your nose every time she pushes the rod down into your nose, or the tube down into your nose, excuse me, she inserts lidocaine to numb it as it's going down, so you won't have that very hard feeling. But I still felt it. But having to knowing what's going on with my body and my esophagus, I suffered through what was ever going through mentally. Everything works with the brain. The brain controls the pain, stress, depression, and everything else. So when you have your mindset to know what your healing is, you're not going to worry about the pain or whatever, or the pressure was going on. So as the nurse did the manometry test, she had me lay down and I swallowed water out of a cup. I had to do a total of 10 sips for her to monitor it on the screen. And as she did the sips, she kept saying that my esophagus was not contracting properly like it should. So next, after that, I had to sit up. She did 5 sips of salt water. So I'm assuming the salt in the water must be a contraction or an agent to make the esophagus to react. But from what I was told by the test, that my esophagus is not operating properly. It's not contracting. So when I eat, that's why it hurts when my food goes down. And the piece that's on the end of my esophagus, I think it's called the sphincter. If I'm not correct, y'all can research it. Want to give a shout out to my sister Michi X, because she always says, do your research before you let people do stuff to you. And I don't believe in surgeries, and I don't believe in medicine for pharmaceutical companies, because they are the biggest drug dealers in the world. Some people may take that and say, well, some people have to take medicine. No, if you do your research and find holistic stuff to take, there's stuff naturally that will do the same thing as these medicines that these pharmaceuticals doctors are prescribing. But you have to go to the doctor, take your test, go to certain batteries of doctors like the gastro doctor, the allergy doctor, and you have to know what is actually pinpoint wrong with you. Then you'll be able to take the medicine. Um, on my journey, I've had dealt with Jake, spiritual friend of mine. I've dealt with Michi X, also a spiritual friend of mine, as well as activist, whatever title Michi holds at this time. She has so many titles, I don't even keep up with him anymore. I just call her my sister, because that's what she is. I had a pleasure of meeting Michi back during the Black Agenda when she did it in Houston, Texas at the Shrine of Madonna. So it's been over maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So I really don't keep track of time when people become my family. Also, Divine Prince on Instagram in New Orleans. We became acquainted. He's a very good man. Does work with people, like I say, he does charge for his services or whatever he does on that end, but also too, he does, when he has love for you, he will give you some gems on the outside, when he feels that he needs to. When something comes his way, he will give you a text or a call or a DM or whatever to instigate to investigate, not instigate, to investigate. Let me correct that. What is going on with that person, especially if he has a connection with them. I've lost a lot of weight from December of last year to now. I also went to Dr. McGee. She's in Houston, Texas. She's a very good doctor. She first diagnosed me with the acid reflux and stuff, and told me to take the fiber and different medicines over the counter, to help with the pain that I was having at first. I don't have the pain anymore with the food going down. I'm just having these spasms now every now and then, but it just depends what I eat that triggers them. But my husband takes very good care of me, better than I do myself. And for those that don't know me, I have a 4-year degree in kinesiology. So I have a background in anatomy, physiology, motor skills, and everything else. But I know when my body is not functioning right, and everybody else should learn their body. You need to learn anatomy, physiology, the breakdown of the body, the nervous system, the endocrine system, all the systems that's within the body, and you can pretty much tell what part of your body is having problems. And there are different research things you can do, like Dr. Sebi is also a resource that I use. There's a gentleman in the Cayman Islands and the Caribbean that I also use for reference as pertaining to coconut water. And right now I'm on the journey looking for Sahariso's coconut water with the Pope in it. Had any luck in my area to find it. Talked to a young lady, Miss Crystal, on the phone at the company that makes the Jarisos out of El Paso, Texas. She was very helpful. She said that Whole Foods and Sprouts are the different stores that have that. So that would be my mission today, looking for the Jarisos coconut water. My store, Brookshire Brother in Vida, Texas, has it, but it wasn't on the shelf. They are out of stock, and because of the pandemic, everything has been behind. As y'all can see on the news, I'm quite sure that toys and everything that's coming from China is just pretty much just sitting on the boats out there. So y'all need to get your toys together. This has nothing to do with my esophagus and stuff, but I'm just letting you know that times are getting very hard right now, and that you need to start ordering toys early. That way, if you got to find a way to hide them, put them in storage, I don't care where you put them. But this is going to be the worst year I ever see for getting toys and stuff to kids. But like I said, I don't celebrate any holidays. So 365 days a year, my family has holidays and birthdays. And also, I want to let you know that I love all y'all that support me, and those that in the future will support me. I do YouTube, I do Instagram, I do TikTok, I do pretty much all social media. Also, I have Dependable Angel Services, where I have my stockpile that I donate from my coupon into different organizations or whatever. And then I'm also a reseller. So like you say, I may be rambling on in this podcast, but you know what? It is what it is. Everybody has a life, and I'm gonna open y'all to my life. Also, My pet peeve that I have with this Texas banning this abortion, I don't agree with that, because if you tell me if someone put in a bad situation where they didn't actually be pregnant and have been attacked, I'm not going to say the word, the R word, y'all know what I'm talking about, or the ancestor word, you know what I'm talking about on that too. A person should be forced to keep a baby. And I'm not going to go into detail why I say that. I'm just going to let you know, if you can read between the lines, I don't agree with that, because, sometimes, it's better, it's better for that person not to have that child than have that child, because sometimes if they have that child, they feel that they're being put under duress, as well as if they also have to give their child up for adoption. Sometimes when that child is put up for adoption, it may or may not go to good families. And I'm just gonna say it like that, because I've dealt with different situations where I know that kids have been neglected and different things like that in certain situations. I'm not gonna say all places do that, but I'm just gonna tell you from my experience of working with the community. But just want to say, let y'all know that I love y'all, and take care of y'all. Get ready to go to the doctor's appointment. I will let you know what the results was from the. Also, I had a hide scan. The hide scan is where they went down into my throat. They put me to sleep with the Michael Jackson medicine, the propofol, and it was so funny. I woke back up, and the doctor did say that he wanted to send me for further testing for my esophagus. So that's how I ended up at St. Luke's. And I also want to give a thanks to Quiz Quinn, who sacrificed his life as an attorney out of Beaumont, Texas. He was a board member of St. Luke's. That is the reason why St. Luke's has the title of Quinn. That came from the donations or whatever, however his family does that, and endowment, however they do that, because he was on the board of directors. So, like I said, we have a lot of people in Port Arthur, Texas, Beaumont, Texas, and the surrounding areas of the Southeast Texas area. They have contributed a lot to these communities, whether it's here, overseas, or wherever. But when a Texas name is tied to it, not trying to say anything about other states, but when a Texas name is tied to it, it comes with a lot of love. And for those that know people from Texas and Louisiana, I have Louisiana roots also. We are very lovable people. And I just want to give a shout out to the Cajun Navy Relief, my other family, who has been there since Hurricane Harvey, through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all the other organizations. Pioneer Women out of Beaumont, Texas, who are very uplifting, who was part of helping initiating, keeping my education going back after 9 years at LIT. But I want to just let y'all know that I do love y'all, and this is a rambling podcast, so don't get offended. Just need 50 of subscriptions to get this channel an algorithm. So just support the girl. It is what it is. You may not like me, you may like me, you may love me, you may not love me, but just support the little people that have small businesses, as well as I have WWFees, FEES, CBD.com, which is a partnership with my son, my middle son. Support the small businesses. And a shout out to my sister, the real Tasha. Check her out. She does a lot of the work homes. She's on Instagram, Facebook. She's on all social media. She also has a podcast, YouTube channel, just as well as I do. And, in the community, just get along. In the coupon community, just get along. We all can make this money. It's a hustle. It's called a side hustle. It's called love for each other. Be blessed. Salute.
Felicia, Dependable Angel Services, is coming to you. I will be bringing different coupon savings within the stores, as Dollar General, Family Dollar, Walmart. I will bring to you different rebates where you can save money. I will also bring to you different techniques and different coupon lingos that you would need in order to be able to save money. I also will teach you couponing tips and where you can also get coupons for a low price, whether it's in the store or online or on the different apps. I will also teach you how to be able to recognize when you need to double up your stockpile when it's coming into a certain season, and what you don't need to buy and what you do need to buy during certain seasons. Dependable Angel Services will bring